This program is presented by International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Thank you for tuning in to Business and Beyond. Back to our market series of discussions, here is another important partner, Japan, which economy is challenged by natural disasters and market-related disruptions. And yet, its importance cannot be diminished in our economic profile. Complementing this is another key and emerging product, that of automotives and auto parts, which has helped drive Japan's economy into a global superpower.
Using mostly indigenous materials for the main parts, lights produced by this company have evolved to suit current trends in design, function, and materials. This comes after some business news last week.
Exporters are pinning high hopes on robust economic growth and government's programs to boost exports to fuel the recovery of the sector as they continue pushing the industry reform agenda. From many indications, we would like to believe that this is indeed the golden age of MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, said Philippine Exporters Confederation Incorporation or PHILEXPORT. President Sergio R. Ortiz Luis Jr. Ortiz Luis said his group has been advocating and promoting for a strong and sustainable MSME sector in a way that they can effectively and efficiently participate in the regional and global production networks and compete with the rest of the world. With the right environment, he expects the MSME's share in the country's employment and gross domestic to increase from its current contribution of 35% to 40% or even higher. In 2017, Ortiz Luis said the PhilExport and the Export Development Council will push the industry reform agenda that include maximization of the benefits of free trade agreements, intensified campaign against corruption, and facilitation of infrastructure development, and capacity building for MSME and institutional disaster resilience. Exports of food and food-oriented agricultural products stand the greatest chance of success in the new destination markets the Philippines is now trying to diversify into. This was confirmed by speakers from South Africa, Israel, Mexico, Iran, Russia, and India during a seminar on new potential markets for Philippine exports conducted recently by the Department of Trade and Industry and Industry Export Marketing Bureau. What consumers in these markets want are products not easily available in local stores but are widely produced or grown in the Philippines, they emphasized. Chair Kau of the South African Embassy in Manila said virgin coconut oil continues to enjoy high demand in her country where coconut is not a native tree. Iranian ambassador to the Philippines, Mohammad Tanhey, meanwhile said that even though high volumes of Philippine bananas are shipped to the Persian Gulf, demand for the fruit as well as for other agricultural products coming from the Philippines continues to exceed supply in his country. Narayanan Ramakrishnan, charged the affairs of the Embassy of India in Manila, disclosed that foodstuff such as snacks and fast foods is also a key entry point for aspiring exporters to the Indian market.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained. International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
President Duterte has expressed the country's intention to further strengthen our economic ties with Japan, considering especially the 60th anniversary of the trade relations between the two. What opportunities and challenges await businesses from both countries? We have the Vice President of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry to give us some answers. Please welcome Mr. Nobuo Fujii. Can you briefly talk to us about the profile of Japanese investors in the country?
Almost 1,500 companies already there. And we Japanese chambers have a membership company is almost 600. So half of them are joining our association.
Alright, are you also in the other regions? Is the chamber represented in other regions in the country?
There are two organizations. One is Mactan areas. That was almost 120 companies. And in Davao City, the Mindanao Japanese chambers, that was also 60 companies.
What sectors are they involved in?
Half of us belongs to the manufacturing sector, and especially for electronic and devices, such kind of matters.
Right.
So within our membership company, most biggest number is Laguna Technopark. Second largest is Cavite Economic Zone, and the third or fourth, that was FPIP. First Philippine Industrial Park, and Lima Technology.
Can you give an assessment on how Japanese investors and buyers look at the Philippines now in terms of as the country as an investment site and as a supplier?
Because manufacturing cost in Japan is very, very high.
Right.
So avoid such kind of no competition. So manufacturing site should be outside of Japan.
Yes.
So they are searching for a manufacturing site.
Correct.
The Japanese management is very hard-headed and afraid of such kind of European and American culture. So do not want to go out.
Oh.
So still staying in here.
That's good. Very good. And you said earlier that there are more big companies than small companies here.
Big company first and the small company second.
Okay.
That was Japanese investment style. Right. On the contrary, the Korean style. Small company first, and after that, a large company, big company.
What is the rationale?
Because there are enough
to test.
manpower.
They're the test market.
Yeah.
All right. Now Japan also suffered from the global demand slump in the past 1.5 years that saw your exports tumbling like about 13 consecutive months. What do you think are the short, medium to long-term prospects of your economy?
The manpower is shrinking, and aging population. The sales amount is keep the existing body. That was very difficult. So anyway, want to grow up. So manufacturing side must be set outside of Japan. Such kind of situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of investments and other partnerships, what areas do you think should be pursued?
JPEPA is a very good scheme. For the first time, bilateral agreement is done in here.
Right.
Such kind of treatment can be helped outside of PESA company. Inside of PESA company, that was no duty import and no duty export.
It's easy.
Very easy. So we do not care. But personally, I concerned about such kind of scheme inside of the JPEPA scheme. Some business by environmental improvement committee.
Okay. What is this example?
For example, the inside PESA, some difficulty happened. At that time, we request counterpart is DTI. So we request, but cannot do that. Such kind of our complaint or suggestion made through PESA to DTI. So such kind of scheme is 1 year, almost 2 to 3 times we have a chance to talk about the DTI.
Are there many issues that the Japanese are trying to address within the PGEPA agreement?
No.
All right. If you have a message for the government, what will it be?
In the future, the Philippines want to grow up, inclusive growth, maybe much more emphasis for the manufacturing sector. So, strengthen manufacturing sector, maybe Japanese investors also need it.
Yeah.
So, please restriction for the
Foreign
40, 60 rules and some such kind of matter can be much more deregulated.
Okay.
That was request for the Philippines.
All right. Thank you, Fuji-san. Business and Beyond will be back.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained. International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Talk wiring harness and automotive parts, and there is one top-of-mind company, Yazaki Torres Manufacturing Inc. With over 13,000 employees producing for the major car makers in the United States and Japan, Yazaki Torres aims to zoom higher. The company is also a member of an association called the Philippine Parts Makers Association. We are pleased to have with us the President and CEO of Yazaki Torres Manufacturing Inc. and the Chairman Emeritus of the association to talk to us about what lies ahead for the industry. Please welcome Mr. Feliciano Torres. How is the industry now, sir, the auto part industry?
The automotive industry is a very competitive industry because of the continuing advances and innovations in technology, coupled with the stringent customers' requirements.
In your sector, what are the advances in technology that we are talking about?
Before, when a certain car is running at 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, you can really feel the vibration. The same type of car, you would hardly feel the vibration. And it's not only the speed. When we talk of the brake system, before, when you run fast and then you step on your brake suddenly, the car will not immediately stop. They will still run for a certain distance. But this time it's different.
Sir, mas accurate, no? Mas accurate
Yes,
ngayon.
the gas consumption. The gas consumption is lower than what it used to be. Another thing which is very important is the emission, the carbon emission, which is much lesser now in spite of the engine is more powerful.
Can you talk of these stringent customer requirements that your company and the industry are supposed to adhere to?
Like in the quality. Before they measure your defects by parts per million. But this time, no, it's different. They want zero defect.
Wow.
No defect at all. They measure whether 0 or 1.
So pag one, hindi pwede.
It's not acceptable to them.
Wow.
And another thing is the cost.
Okay.
Before they renegotiate for the lowering of the cost, it will take years. But this time, no, every year they ask for a discount. Another thing is, which is very important to them, is the delivery. Before you can advance your delivery. And of course, a delay, they don't like delay. Exact quantity, exact day, exact time.
What is the philosophy behind para wala ng warehousing, ganun po bang no more
Yes.
warehousing, no more extra cost?
To make the overall operation efficient. And of course, you lessen also your cost, your logistic cost.
Okay, so can you also share some recent developments, no trends that players, companies, manufacturers, exporters, and the industry have to adopt to?
A car manufacturer, wherever they are, and the parts maker, wherever they are too, the car maker would have a minimum of 3 requirements to foster their satisfaction. That they receive their products or services in compliance with their specifications at the cost acceptable to their requirement and at the quantity required at the time that they need it.
How can they do this, sir? Costs are rising, materials are rising, labor cost is rising, the developments. How can suppliers meet these requirements?
We have always to go into continuous improvement, or what the Japanese say, kaizen. We need education, we need understanding of the employees, and we need the cooperation. We should have a culture of quality.
Excellent.
That is very important to have.
Sir, I know that the industry has a roadmap and there are targets in the roadmap. Now, do you think the targets that have been set are achievable? And what can government do to help industry achieve the targets?
Recently, we have what we call a CAR program. CARS is an acronym, and it means Comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Strategy. You see, but I go first to the background. So, the Philippines is left behind when it comes to car production, specifically by Thailand and now Indonesia. And but our sales is increasing. The demand is increasing, and we expect that in 2020 we will be the Filipino people will be purchasing 500,000 units per year. So we want to have a recovery in our automotive program, our car program. This program is a challenge for us really to make a car manufacturing program in the Philippines a success. So we are not saying that there should be no importation, but while we are importing, we should develop our domestic production.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing all these things with us. And we wish you luck and the industry. Business and Beyond will be back.
International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained. International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Lights from Benson 19 is produced out of the principle called sensible engineering. This is part of the big success story that will be shared with us today by its president, Mr. Chris Benson. How is it now? Where is the Philippines in position in terms of the global competition? And who are our major competitors?
This is basically like an industry that has not been given a lot of focus in the past. The potential for the lighting industry is huge because it has not been tapped by our manufacturers. In fact, there's only several manufacturers.
I talked earlier about sensible engineering. Are you an engineer?
I'm not an engineer, but that's my passion actually.
Alright. But you're able to apply that technology in what you do.
Exactly.
Alright. So you have a very strong R&D team. I I suppose.
Yes.
And innovation is continuing.
That's correct.
Alright, so how has this principle given the company and your products competitive advantage?
The last introduction that we had that we took to New York at the ICFF was made of capis and aluminum frames. So there's that challenge, how do you attach the capis to the aluminum frame? So what we came up with was we actually engineered a special kind of clip so that the capis, even if they fall, you could easily replace them. Or if you want to clean them, you could take them one by one. And
How was the market feedback on this product?
it was fantastic actually. It was one of our most popular pieces.
So what trends in terms of designs, materials, even pricing do you see in the short to the long term?
What we've been developing basically are modern renditions of our traditional materials. Like I was mentioning earlier, the capis, it's been done so many different times. What was interesting when we were in New York, Marcel Wonders, so one of the top designers internationally, actually stopped by and looked at how we did the piece. You know, it was like, and he made a comment. I've never seen it done like this before. So it was like, that was a validation basically of the ingenuity of the Philippine market. We are also coming up with designs that requires LEDs, so that it's a very exciting technology.
What do you think are the other prospects for your company, for other players in this industry, and what will hamper further growth?
What we do basically is we tie up with siting. We tie up with our government agencies in coming up or working with young designers. At the last Manila Fame, we won the Katma Award. Yeah, thank you. In a product that was designed by Stanley Ruiz. So it's pretty exciting to be in the manufacturing sector and to be able to work with some of these upcoming talented designers from the Philippines.
That's part of the competition. But in the products in this will require after sales. How do you do that if these are export products?
Well, if these are export products, we usually distribute them with dealers. Through the dealers.
So they're
They're the ones that will be doing after sales. If it's a project, then definitely we give a standard 1-year warranty on all of our products. If installation is included, that will also be included in the warranty.
Is any message you want to put across government, especially for the industry? What would it be?
A lot of times, it is very difficult for us to utilize top existing technology. Whether the machineries are not available here, to import them, you get the tax and the red tape is very, very difficult. And then the other side of it is there's a lot of components that are readily available that we can bring in. We don't have to manufacture or fabricate everything. That's one way to really improve the quality of our products.
Thank you, Chris, for sharing all this information.
Thank you.
Business and Beyond will be back. We've come to the end of this week's episode. We hope that discussions have been relevant and useful for you.
Join us again next week for more business stories, inspiration, and leads. Please visit our social media accounts to share your views, comments, and suggestions.
Always remember, connections matter here at
Business and Beyond.
This program was presented by International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained.